Good morning, everyone. My name is Roberto Valerio. I'm the founder of DeviceIdent, and today Michael Backus and I will showcase our new product used for fraud prevention. You all probably know that the impact of fraud on non-cash transactions is in excess of 800 million euros in Europe alone. DeviceIdent combats this and will give you the power of next-generation fraud protection that truly complies with European data privacy law, enhances your existing processes without needing to change anything, and provides a network that anonymously and safely allows members to protect themselves without having to share private customer data. Let's jump right into the live demonstration of a typical credit card criminal and how to prevent such fraud cases using DeviceIdent. Here's our credit card criminal. He just spent $200 to buy 10 credit card numbers via a well-known underground hacking site. At a price of $20 each, these numbers come with owner's name, address, security number, even the banking details. It only takes a couple of minutes to obtain this data nowadays. Our criminal here is now going to use one of these cards to buy an expensive laptop at an UK e-commerce site using UK Payments Limited as payment service provider. At this point, the card is still valid and the transaction seems legitimate. Here's our fraud officer at UK Payments. He's using our DeviceIdent platform to monitor his site for suspicious activities. Although we integrate into existing systems, this client uses our dashboard to visualize all of his transactions. Let's select the last transaction. The criminal's purchase was marked as suspicious based upon UK Payments scoring rules. You can see the warning sign on the very left. Let's take a closer look. The device does not show any anomalies. The browser is Safari on an Apple Mac. All settings are normal and the device connected from London. It seems to be a regular domestic buyer. But the device has never been seen inside this payment network. UK Payment Limited adds 25 points to the overall risk score. Yet the rules don't have to apply on what has been seen in their network. Another 25 points were added because the device is unknown to DeviceIdent's global network. However, everything's checked and seems to be within an acceptable range. The transaction is approved. Our criminal continues along with the shopping spree. He switches to a new browser to make sure there is no information from his first purchase. He deletes his cookies, he deletes his cache, and he activates a proxy to hide his IP address. He now logs into a travel booking site to book a flight for £1,500 British. He grabs the next of his stolen credit cards. Again, this credit card is still valid and the transaction is able to complete. We switch to the fraud manager of WorldCollect, the payment service provider for the travel booking site. They're using DeviceIdent as well. A look at their dashboard shows a new transaction in the backlog that is marked red as critical. Let's again take a closer look. 4 out of 5 rules triggered and changed the overall risk score to 137. What has happened? As you can see, even by using another IP address via another browser, deleting cache and cookies, as well as using a different credit card, the device is still recognized by DeviceIdent. Yet this time, the device connected via a Slovak server. This is unusual for regular payments via WorldCollect and adds 32 points to the overall risk score. Further, it connects via an anonymizing proxy. That adds another 50 points. We now leverage the information from the previous transaction with the same device from the global rule set. First, the number of transactions within 15 minutes is at 2. That adds another 30 points to the risk score. The total value of both transactions within the 2 payment service providers exceeds £3,000 WorldCollect sets this as a spending limit within 24 hours. This adds another 25 points to the risk score. Now WorldCollect would have a chance to reach out to the merchant and handle the case as necessary. Let's switch back to our first fraud manager. The transaction he checked a few minutes ago has automatically changed status. DeviceIdent re-evaluated the first transaction based on the new data that was generated via the same device. This was possible because of the global pool that DeviceIdent is offering to its clients. In this case, the overall risk score changed to 112 points, just because of the global transaction limits triggering the same rules as at UK payments. Now our first fraud manager can make a more accurate decision based upon this new information. Let me summarize. Presume that this fraud case would have passed conventional anti-fraud measures. Without DeviceIdent, it would not have been possible to link both cases. While 1, remaining compliant with European data privacy laws, 2, without interfering with the existing anti-fraud measures, and finally 3, allowing both customers to protect themselves without sharing private customer data. I recommend that you stop by the booth today and join the network that's already protecting the second largest European online retailer. Participate in the network collecting and evaluating more than 100,000 new devices every day in Europe alone. We love to hear about your anti-fraud measures you have in place and help you further reduce your overall fraud risk. Thank you for listening and have a great Finovate.